get this thing strung up over here. All right, you're gonna have to check comments from your phone because I think I just covered the whole comment section, if there is. Howdy ho! Up. Come on, folks. Kinda rushed out of here on Friday, you know? My forearms were sunburned from the welding on Friday, so I'm going to keep the sweater on today. It's also appreciably colder now, so summer weather's gone. It's winter time now. We have some metal left, not a whole lot.
I gotta show you something. There's no one watching anyways.
Just tries to.
I just tried to kidnap a kid.
Wow. All right, folks. My name is Isaac. This is DIY Speed. We just started tonight's live. Hopefully, more people join us. Go ahead and ask any questions you want. This is a 1969 El Camino Chevrolet that we're basically in the process of fixing up some rotten parts of the frame, bringing back the structural integrity to the frame. And we've done a bit of welding now. We're trying to wrap up the outer portion of this side. There's still a lot of work that needs to happen on the bottom portion of the rail on the inside, but we're going to move over. We're going to flip the frame for that. So for now, I'm going to keep working just in this area. It blew through, the welder blew through right here, and there's a rust hole right here, so I believe a patch is in order to bring some structural strength back to that. But I'm going to hop on the grinder right now and do some light grinding to get the ridges off of my poor welds, and that'll get us started. We got anybody in?
ATSDG is saying hi.
Hey, what's up, ATSG? All good? Welcome aboard. Join us for tonight's live presentation of how to fix a car in your garage. And we're just going to dive right in, folks. It's about to get a little hairy.
Elred is saying what's going on in here? Use a wire wheel, yeah, gumball. You need that metal. Well, we already welded a bunch of extra metal on top of that, so.
Right, we're adding metal now. So I'm grinding off the ridges of my terrible welding that I've done on this. So really all I'm doing is just getting it back where it's flat again, and also showing the areas that I need to pass by the welder again to get that, like, just get the, Grand Canyon effect out of the metal. And yeah, so we're not taking a whole lot off. We're just prepping the metal to get welded for a second time.
Michael Rose is saying, nice shop, like welding. I'm still in school, but I'm looking to work with some people who have a shop.
What state are you in? If you're around here and you're useful, you never know.
No, Elred, this is a 1969 El Camino.
Now, one of the themes with these live feeds, you're just going to see me switching PPE from grinding PPE to welding, because that's all I'm doing right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the earmuffs and eye protection. I'm going to switch over to the welding helmet to block out the light of the sun. And I'm also going to put a respirator on while I weld, because, well, I've been doing this for a while now, and my lungs are not happy without a respirator. So just a simple respirator like this over the head. You're supposed to check these for spiders before you put them on.
Elred is saying strap-on style.
So I have a story to tell real quick. I used to work out on the West Coast, so we're in Connecticut right now. I used to work in Bakersfield, California at a winery, and I was night shift. I was midnight to noon. It was a 12-hour shift, and I had a crew of like 5 or 6 dudes that we just ran the plant at night. So I would tell everybody, before you put these respirators on, because you needed them for different chemicals we were using, to check them before you put them on your face, because black widows are everywhere, and you'll eventually find a black widow in your mask. And lo and behold, one of the guys who didn't like to listen anyways put his mask on, and he felt something just tickling his lips. He pulls it off, and there was, sure enough, a black widow right inside the mask. I hate to say it, but that was a dumb dude.
Raiders is saying, just eat it, bro. Nothing like spider candy.
Huh? I should probably plug the welder in. That would be important. Alright, so if you're interested in what type of setup I'm using for the welding, don't worry, it's a terrible setup. I'm using flux core right now. Until I can make it to air gas sometime this week, I'm going to be using flux core to weld this. If you do it right, it's only kind of terrible. What I like to do on thicker metal with this, I'm using a Lincoln Pro MIG 140 with flux core. I like to ride the cup real close to the pool, and it helps basically make a clean bead with the flux core. If you run your flux too far out away from the cup, then it splatters a lot and you don't get consistent welds, at least on this thicker stuff.
Ready for some more comments?
Yeah, let's go.
Elred, Don't gotta worry about that in Canada. I'm assuming about spiders.
Yeah, yeah, you probably don't have to worry about those there, but you know, you got snow problems.
Then
Okay.
Denise is asking what we were working on. So is
Is it Dennis or
Raiders.
Denise?
I think Denise, but I'm not sure.
I do apologize if it's Dennis, and I do apologize if it's Denise. This is a 1969 Chevrolet El Camino that is actually sitting to your guy's left, if you want to take a look real quick. It's sitting up on jack stands in the front, and then supported in the rear by a 3,300-pound ratchet strap up to the rafter. It is Denise. Very nice. Well, thank you for joining. Thanks for asking as well. You can see the cars in front of you. This is a, like I said, 1969 El Camino. It's a 396 big block car. The front end is currently sitting on the rear end because I had to pull the front clip off to get the frame out. And yeah, that's what we're fixing this frame for. Machine's on, let it run for a sec. I'm gonna raise the lift.
Would you call this a rest mod or just a restoration?
What was that?
I mean, we're putting a different engine in it, so rest mod, right?
Yeah, so this is gonna be kind of like a resto mod / pro mod / drag car, cruiser. It's gonna be a street strip car. Basically, it's gonna be badass. It's gonna have some nice wheels. I think we're gonna go like 18 by 10s, 18 by 12s, and a lot of horsepower. A lot of horsepower.
Elred is telling everyone to be quiet so you can start welding. So let's get to it. That's right, Elrad. Subscribe and like.
Yep. Guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Give us a like, drop a comment. Thanks for watching. Between every welding pass with flux core, you gotta clean the slag off the metal. So that's what I just did, and I'm gonna lay another bead. I am not mad at that. I am not mad at that. That is starting to master the flux core.
Yep.
So that fixed that issue. You know, if you can get your settings right, if you have a good ground with the machine, even with flux core, you could get work done. So I had to fill in some ridges, some gaps over here, threw 2 layers of bead on it, cleaned it in between each pass, and a little bit of light grinding. That's gonna look great. So I got to move up to a couple of, like, you know, like I said, they look like little Grand Canyons in here. Fill them up with a nice layer of bead, and then we're gonna call this portion done and move on to this side, where we're gonna go ahead and bring some structure back to these holes, this area here. I was resting my hand on the metal. Get a good grasp on the gun. Well, I just welded there, so it's still 1,000 degrees. I'm happy with that. That's already good to me. I can do a little bit more right here. All right, so threw some welds on there real quick. Pretty happy how that turned out. Now I'm going to throw the grinding PPE back on and clean this up a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next patch. How many people we got?
37.
37. Let's go.
Conroy is asking what we are building.
Hey Phil, this is a Phil, right?
Bill.
Bill, what's up, Wild Bill? This is a 1969 Chevrolet El Camino, 396 big block. Fixing the frame on it so that it can go back underneath the car. The body is still intact, and it's going to be a pretty fast car soon enough, but not until we get this frame fixed up.
This is gonna go back on the frame once that's done, and hopefully we're gonna be putting a 6.0 LS. What if you let it stick out below a little bit, and then with the grinder
Even it out?
even it out?
Yeah. I'm going to move over to the vise for a second to cut a length of this steel.
Crazy idea. Not sure if that would ever work.
What, tighten this down?
What if you use painter's tape?
To hold it in place?
Uh-huh.
That could work. If I can use this better, you know, and I don't think it will work. You want to get the 6-inch or 8-inch section?
stuff.
Why are we being non-men? Turn that thing on. Safety squints for Jesus. Turn that machine on. Remember to bring your safety squints to work. That didn't work. Hold on, one more. Not sure shit did it. One more. Oh, one more.
Well, you finally tacked something in place, huh?
So we've done, just to give you guys a little bit of background, we've done like 4 or 5 of these live streams now in the last week. And the themes have been me struggling to get the patches in place because I, for whatever reason, refused to just tack them into place, which is stupid. And me constantly having to clean off the flux is another. And me struggling with all of this different PPE setups. Oh, I struggle hard. So, without further ado, let's attempt patch number 3. It's a small one. This was a big one. This was a small one. This is a small one. Hopefully this goes smoothly. You never know.
112 people watching.
112 folks. Thank you everyone who's watching now. If you stick around, watch some good old-fashioned hard work. Get some stuff done. If this inspires you to go out and build cars and work on your dreams, I hope that's the message this conveys. So I'm going to switch over to my welding gear now. If you're not subscribed, if you please could subscribe and go ahead and like the channel. I do appreciate it. It's helping me grow, and I'd love to be able to continue to do this all the time. So without further ado, let's get to welding.
And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comment section. We won't always be able to answer it right away, but we do try to answer everything.
Machine bucks sometimes if if it's not happy with the way I'm holding the gun, it'll buck.
I think I see some stacked dimes there.
A little bit, but it'll buck is what I'm trying to say. The machine, if I'm not holding it right. We'll buck.
Right over here.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep going. Guys, I'm kind of just rushing through this. I'll show you the welds in a second. I'm gonna finish welding around the top side. So now that that piece is firmly affixed to the frame, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the grinding gear real quick and just clean it up and see if I need to do a second pass. The grinder never lies. I gotta put some patchwork on this.
Not that much, though.
Nope, not a lot. Oh no. Okay. Worst nightmare, I blew a hole. One of my worst nightmares working on this frame, I just blew another hole through it. I'm gonna see if I could patch it back. I looked right at a weld, so I'm like useless right now. I looked at one of the welds, so I'm like useless right now. Wherever I look, I just can't see.
Why would you do that?
Flashlight? Is there still a hole in it? Yeah. Much better. All right, I was able to save some face there, get that whole patch, get a couple layers of weld on top of it. So that's good. Touch it up with the grinder one more time and let's move on.
Is the bottom of that patch about done yet?
No, we're gonna have to weld that when we flip it. It might come in handy to have the extra metal there. So. No! No! Yes!
don't fully love the way the grinder is sitting on the extension cord.
I feel like I should either do more weld or more grinding.
Let the viewers see.
So this is the patch. Remember, there were 2 holes here. 130 people watching. Awesome. What's up, guys? So this is the patch. I got most of the grinding done. I'd like to do a little bit more, possibly lay a little bit more bead in here to fill it, so it's got a nice slope to it. I don't really care how it looks because it's more for like the use of it than it is for the look. Nobody's going to be looking at this frame except for me. Man, you've got it made. Get after it. Thanks, Frank. I wouldn't say I got it made, but we're making it happen. All right, I can live with that. All right. This side is done on the outside until we flip the frame. We got to go set up on the other side now.
You're having fun. It's a labor of love. Good luck with whatever you're building, and cherish these moments where it's your work.
Is that Frank?
That is Frank.
Thanks, Frank. I appreciate the kind words. If you could go ahead and like the video and subscribe, I'd be appreciative. Thank you very much.
We are currently building a 1969 El Camino. Frame was slightly rusted, slightly to be taken with a slight grain of salt. The body is in okay shape. It's on a bunch of jack stands over there, and it's hanging from the rafters on the back. That's gonna go back on the frame, and then hopefully we're gonna put a 6.0 LS in there.
Let's get that camera over here. Watch your step though, bud.
Yes, sir.
Just bear with us as we figure this out. 139 people watching. So far, 2 likes. I do appreciate it, guys. So let's go ahead and move on here. Let's
I'm
see.
gonna move this welder a little bit out of the way so I can
Yeah, go
back.
ahead. Yeah. All right. That's a pretty good view of this frame rail. As you can see, from starting from this rust hole all the way up, this is completely porous. This is a hole that is not factory. This is all porous, completely gone. So the under portion is eaten out. The inside, I'm sticking my hand inside the frame right now, and the whole outer section that you see on camera is eaten away from here to here. So I think if we were to count inches wise, we got close to 30, 35, 40 inches worth of metal that needs to be reinforced. And I'm going to go ahead and start working my way all the way around this until we have enough basically metal back on the frame to say that it's strong. So we're just working on the outer portion right now. Obviously we need to get started. And then once the outer portion's done, I'm going to flip the frame and start working on the inners and unders.
Frank said, "You're working it out. Plan your work and work your plan."
Good man. Thanks, Frank. Stick around. Hang out with us for the night if you can. Crack a cold one. And by that, I mean Coca-Cola. And I hope the lighting's good. If anybody wants to drop a comment what they think I should be pulling out more lighting for this side. But I'm going to go ahead and start getting set up to get back to work here.
Either way should have more light over there.
Alright, here, no problem. See, I don't want to use an extension cord for the machine if I can help it.
What about this one right here?
Those don't work. Does it have the new wiring? No.
Huh?
I could put this on a stool, but for now I think that'll work.
Frank is saying hot cold ones are good as long as they're cold. I'll watch for a bit. Wife is snuggling our youngest of 3. And he's from North Carolina, NC, right?
Well, yeah, North Carolina.
We are in Connecticut.
Yeah, we're in Connecticut. Thank God I have two girls. Youngest being 8 weeks right now, so kind of lucky to be able to spend some time doing this all together. All right, stick around. Let's get to work.
You responded with congrats. Very cool. Then I have a bit of a longer comment, if you have a second. Scott Huffman, hello. I just found you guys. I love restoring cars. I've always wanted to, but haven't had the money or the skill to start. I'll be hanging out for a bit. How's the night treating you so far?
And what was the name?
Scott.
Hey, Scott. Well, first of all, welcome to the channel. My name's Isaac, and the channel name is DIY Speed. We're working on a 1969 Chevrolet El Camino, restoring the frame so that it could go back underneath the car. Not a lot of money into it, to be honest with you. I bought the car for $1,200. Maybe I got like $400 in it so far, just all the random stuff I had to pick up. But, I mean, we're really nowhere either, so it is going to cost some money. Yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on.
What about the skill?
The skill? Oh, I have no skill either. I'm self-taught. I'm just forcing my way brutally through all of this, and so far so good.
Point being, don't have to have either. Just the willpower to do so.
Right. If you ever watched the Red and Green show growing up, remember, the women don't need to find you handsome, but they do need to find you handy.
That's right, Frank.
Just grabbing some metal.
Kinda need that.
Gonna need it, yeah. So I'm just grabbing some metal. We'll throw some tacks up here and get started. I could shorten that a little bit. I think I am going to take a few inches off. Yeah. Where do I want to cut it? Let's cut it right there. Okay. Let me go throw this in the vise and cut it a few inches shorter, and that'll be our first piece.
Scott is saying El Camino is one of my favorite cars, so I will keep up with this. I just restored an '08 Compass, but it had no rust or frame damage, just needed parts replaced.
What a dream it would be to live in a place with no rust. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and subscribe. Give us a like, and stick with us, man. I appreciate it. Ask anything you want. We'll try to answer it. Obviously, I'm going to be trying to work quickly, so in between thrash sessions. Oh, you turn the machine on? All right, tack the first section in place. Let me go grab a brush and we'll start welding that in. Do you want to weld?
You're doing such a great job.
I am.
As long as I don't weld, I can make comments about your welding.
Exactly. The second you show your cards, that's it, it's over. All right, so those of you that are new to the feed, my name is Isaac and this is DIY Speed. This is a 1969 Chevrolet El Camino that I'm patching the frame because it is absolutely destroyed in these rear sections. So just bear with me. I'm going to start welding. If you have any questions about welding, about grinding, what I have going on, I'd be happy to share that information. And enjoy. All right, not off to a great start. I welded not the frame. So I'm going to be doing most of my work right now like this. So we move that camera over here. I'm just going to move the camera over so I don't block you while I work.
In the meantime, Scott is saying, oh, I'm in Maine. It was a miracle with the lack of rusts. Then the grinder and paint I got shows everyone the welder I am not. What welder are you using?
I have it's a Lincoln. One second. Buffering, loading. Okay, we're doing something now. I want to move that over more.
And I don't have control.
Just bear with us. So this is a Lincoln Pro MIG 140. I'm running flux core because I don't have gas right now. I'm gonna pick up gas soon, but I don't have time for air gas to open. So I'm just charging away here with flux core. I like to run the cup really close to the arc. For flux core, it keeps the spatter to a minimum and helps lay a good bead on this kind of metal.
Frank is saying gas is 100% worth it. I assume what he means with the next part, but you're a good welder, I believe. All it takes is not being afraid to lay it down. Well, we have plenty of welders here. That's not the issue. The issue is currently not having the gas bottles filled up.
All right. All right. Sorry about dropping off like that. I blew a fuse. It killed the router. The fuse is back up. The router's back up.
Maybe switch to mobile data.
Well, I'll do my best to not blow the fuse again.
Yes, we do have those empty bottles.
Did it again. Why are we blowing the fuse so often now?
Well, thankfully you're on data, so stream is still up. Comment from earlier, Scott was saying, makes sense, my brother is a welder, I'm not, so I recognize the words you're using, but not sure of the difference between flux and gas, other than gas is better.
You're right. Gas is better, for sure. But I just have flux right now, and I'm not going to use an arc welder for this. So until I pick up gas for it, I only have this one spool anyways left to flux. So I'm going to have to go out and buy stuff anyways. I'll end up at Air Gas this week, and we'll do some MIG welding to finish this off, hopefully. Just keep blowing that fuse constantly.
Yeah, now you're going back there.
Alright.
Just get the max of all my Milwaukee switcher.
You just what? Yeah, okay. So I'm not sure what's going on. Keep blowing that fuse now every few seconds. Maybe we're at duty cycle for the electrical right now. Maybe it's a bad ground. That's why I moved the ground just now. Didn't seem to help. I'm going to go ahead and flip the breaker again, and we'll see. We'll see what's going on. You're going back there, or you're just walking over? Sorry about that. Buddy went back there, ripped his nice Milwaukee sweater. It's a jungle gym in here for the most part. There's a lot going on. No problem, Scott. Anytime. Frank, you're awesome. Guys, let's hang out. Let's keep going. Give me a like. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Watch the videos that I put out. I've done a lot so far. Nobody's really looked at it, but that's cool. It's also Saturday night. I'm sure you're all aware. I don't know what time it is anymore, but I have a cup of coffee I'm going to drink real quick. We'll get back to welding. I have an idea why this is blowing. This light is drawing too much amperage. The only thing that's changed since I moved sides is not the socket, but we keep blowing out the fuse. I have a sneaky idea. No, because it turns off when the fuse blows. So we're running the light to give you guys a little extra light. I'm going to go ahead and shut that off for right now, at least while I'm welding. That way I don't, stop blowing that fuse. Not sure what's going on. This might be a grounding issue. The weld quality is just falling through the roof as if the machine's not dialed anymore. Let me see if I can change that. Okay, so that was a ground issue. I managed to get the clamp directly on the piece of metal I'm welding, and that got a lot better right away. Okay, I can't get carried away. I have to be mindful of how thin the frame section is here so as to not blow through. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the grinder and clean up the terrible welds that I did here and see if I need to run a second pass, which I'm guessing I'm gonna need to do. You have eyes on the line, Pete? It was from Scott, I believe. Sorry to hit me. I'm going to try and answer some comments real quick. Yeah, we responded to that. We finished that up.
Gas is always cleaner.
Yep.
My oldest brother has a YouTube channel, so I love supporting smaller channels. And once you're done, we will check out the channel. That's from Scott.
Yeah. We're trying to grow 7,000 subscribers. I'll take every subscriber I can get. Let's get to 100,000, guys. I'll get to do this full time. If you like what you see, stick around. Thank you very much.
Frank is saying, yeah, I just found them tonight. Bits, these guys are cool. I assume Butch, these guys are cool. Thank you. Scott, heck yeah. I always love when you get into a live stream and the content creators are able to keep new people engaged. Well, we do our best. We can't always respond right away, especially when the grinder is going or when Isaac is welding. But we do try to answer and respond to all comments and questions. He's also saying, oh yeah, if the electrical needs to travel to Texas and back, it's gonna pull way more than if you're going to the kitchen.
Right, exactly. So I unplugged that light, and that was the source of the issue, as well as the ground being too far away from the weld. We got it dialed down. Let me clean up my mess.
We are still going.
Oh, we got more?
Oh yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Total Tech is asking, are leaves flammable?
Are leaves flammable? Absolutely.
Scott is answering, Total Tech, from personal experience. Yes, they are. Don't ask how I know.
Yeah, don't try to burn poison ivy, guys. Don't do that. Those are bad leaves.
Frank is saying, and this is the last comment at this moment, try some copper stock on the back of the spots that are blowing through. That will allow your welds to build out instead of blow out of the back and will not stick to copper.
Gotcha. I've heard of that. I don't have any copper stock like that laying around, at least that I'm aware of. But next time I head out to Harbor Freight, maybe I'll look around. Or the metal store. I got to pick up metal soon, so maybe the metal store will have it. You know, it just dawned on me, for those of you that want to answer, who are your favorite YouTubers on YouTube? I'll tell you, I love Vice Grip Garage, I like Cletus McFarland, I like Zip Ties and Bias Plies, and a host of others. So I'm just curious, who are your favorite YouTube channels?
Frank said it will work well, just another opinion out of a billion. Probably about the copper. Scott, go rip your water spigot off your house. People sell them for copper. I mean, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't think the neighbors would be happy.
Scott's saying I'm going with the big three. My brothers, Dona, Sunday, Big Time, and Real Mechanic Stuff. Shout out to Miss Rachel in here.
Who is that?
Miss Rachel's a kids channel.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now my daughter's all into Leo the truck right now. I watch some of what Donut Media, which is what I'm assuming you're saying when you say donut. I don't remember the other two channels, but that's cool, man. It's amazing how many channels there are. There's something for everybody out there. So
good night,
yeah.
Frank. Scott is also saying, and I really like the channel DIY Speed. Not sure if you've heard of them.
Phew, buddy. Appreciate that. I'll take it.
You must be a dad.
Yes.
'Cause
Two
that
kids.
was that no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not mad at the work there. I got to run a second pass here now. I'm going to put the welding hat back on. I'm going to run a second pass in some of the parts to just get it leveled out a little bit better and close up those Grand Canyons. But that piece is pretty much done, and we're ready to move up to the next section, next patch here. So let me run some bead, a little bit more grinding, and we're done with that patch. Let me know when you want to take a look at it, and I'll bring the phone closer. But for right now, I'm just going to keep working. Oh, sorry about that. Blowing the fuse again. Down to 12 people on here, but it's good to see you, Scott. Good to see you, Frank. This is going to be awesome. Frank headed out, I assume. Yeah, I saw that Donut Media separated into a few different channels even recently. What's up, Scott? Yeah, sorry, I just blew the fuse, so we keep losing connection, but hopefully I'll stop with that. Yeah, Donut Media split up, huh? That's pretty wild. I don't know if anyone here was a fan of Side by Side blog back in the day, but that's another channel that was really big and just a lot of fun that blew up and just doesn't exist right now. So I just threw a second pass of weld on there. Again, didn't do the greatest job, but good enough, I think, for right now. So I'm going to switch over to the grinding PPE so I can grind this off and have a look at what I got left. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. We still going? How many people we got on?
46.
46. How long have we been going for?
127.
All right, we're about an hour and a half in. We're making pretty good time, in my opinion. You want to check this out, bud? Let me see if I can. Let me bring the live in. Guys, check out these welds. Not great, but not bad. Let me see if I can get everything discombobulated over here. And unconnect that. And then, should I just take the phone? Should I just take the phone off? Scott, take a look, bud. This is a private shop. There's the 69 El Camino body sitting over there hanging from the rafters. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's actually a fifth. This used to be the Jaguar Club of CT. It no longer is, but it used to be. And I still do some works. I still have done some work on Jaguars here. I was never part of the club. This was before my time. But that's the patch. That's not blown through. That's just some poor welding at the end of it. Obviously, the top is a little bit to be desired, but that's completely welded in now, aside for the bottom, which I'm going to do that when I flip the frame. And you can see the condition of the frame underneath is pretty bad. So we got to add a significant amount of metal to the frame in order to bring it back. But that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. That's what we're doing tonight. I think I'm going to have to get a little bit thicker than 1-inch stock. I'm going to have to move up to the 3-inch stock for this next section. But we'll piece it together. Take a smoke break. All right, now's a good time to ask me anything you want. I'm going to take a smoke break somewhere. Yeah, money.
Not sure where I put them. I don't know what you did with the stand.
Ruined it. I did darn just ruin it there, bud. Yeah, this is how it goes. What time is it?
10:30?
10:30. Wow, it's early. We've gotten started later than we've got started. Today was a record early, 7:30. And we did a bumper change real quick on a minivan. So that was the first hour, just swap out the rear bumper.
That took us 37 minutes.
Okay, that was the first 37 minutes, but we took 23 minutes just futz around before we got started with it.
Scott is asking what lift this is.
Chinesium. Honestly, local guy delivered it. I don't know, $4,500. Install not done great. I got to redo the install on one side. But it's good enough. It'll lift some pretty heavy stuff. It's an 11,000 pound lift capacity, but it's limited by the install factor, which, like I said, I need to repair it. So I actually haven't put anything heavy on here in a little while, but this frame weighs nothing, so not worried about it.
Do we have the F350 on here?
The F250. I've had an F250 like Super Duty on here. It was a 97. Dropped the transfer case and transmission out of it. That was fine. I put my 2006 Tahoe on this. I had a 350 Econoline van on this as well. And a multitude of lighter vehicles, but the heaviest, yeah, that's about it for my equipment. Yeah. Just eyeing up this 3-inch bar that's covered in weld splatter. Just eyeing how I'm going to cut it next because I need to reinforce much thicker sections of this frame. Yeah. cut it like here.
You want to hold it and we draw it out on the other side?
You have some type of drawing apparatus? Not on this part. Sorry, we're just getting our shit together. Like I said, take a little smoke break, iron up the next cut of metal. I want to use what I do have appropriately for what is best for the pieces that I have, because I will be getting more metal, and I don't need to waste what I have right now. I've got to use it as effectively as possible. So just iron it up. I think I'm going to skip over a section, or I'm going to make a few cuts is what it is, prepare a few sections, and then we'll get to just tacking it all in and then welding it in.
Found it.
Found it.
You doing?
Get back to that. All right, guys. We have our groove, so this sits nicely. I got to attempt to cut this out with the grinding wheel now. So give me a minute. I'm going to head over to the vise and cut this out.
I'm apologizing in advance for the shaking.
Gotta get gloves. Should be you, but first time ever doing this. All right, let's get our safety equipment back on, and let's try and cut out this. It'd be really nice to have a plasma cutter right now. Really nice. Okay, that came out surprisingly good. Some metal burrs on there should knock off, but that should work out pretty good. It's going back to the scene of the crime. I'm not mad about that, bud.
Want to line it up again?
Yeah, let me get the ground going. I think I'm going to use it to hold it in place.
That looks like a dangerous weapon.
Yeah, looks like the beginnings of a machete. Oh, sorry, guys. Alright, that's not working out. Hold on. That's gonna work out though. This one. There we go. Okay. So obviously the metal is gonna need some shaping.
You're too high.
Yeah, I got it up a little bit too high. Right. Some of the factors. Then the so actually have to let this go. Oh, falling out of place. Let me go turn the welder on so that I can tack it in place real quick. And remember, if you're not wearing the right PPE, you can always just wear your safety squints. So, you know, just don't look directly at it, folks.
Well, you guys can. That looks good. Worst, like, just have to grind that off a little bit, but that should be fine.
Right. All right, safety squints for Jesus. Sorry, I'm being an idiot and making my tack welds a half inch away from where they need to be. It's going to be a real chore to get this bottom section attached. So let me go ahead and make a couple more tacks. So I think strategically the only play here is to weld up the top and this section, basically the top sections, and then come around and I think we're gonna have to run metal underneath here anyways, from here all the way down. So we're just gonna go ahead and weld the top here. Let me get my respirator back on and earmuffs off. Eye protection. I just switched over from, what's up, Omar? I just switched over to data because of the connection issues we're facing. Keep blowing the fuse, which is killing the router. Let me come back to the other side of the camera. All right, so I don't know if we're reaching duty cycle maybe on the welder, which is why it's giving me problems, or if it's just me rushing it. But I'm gonna keep welding here. Not doing a great job, but it's getting done. What I lack as a welder, I make up with as being a grinder.
You're so cool. Well, Omar, you're so cool for watching this channel. Scott is saying, is that why a lot of women prefer to be with welders, because they make it up as grinders?
Yeah.
You want to know?
First, finish what you're doing.
I'm going to do a grinder and
and
then
I'll
do
go
second
through the
pass.
passes.
Perfect.
All right, so the first rough pass is in, very roughed. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on the grinder now, clean up as much as I can, and then we'll switch. He'll do some grinding and, some welding, and we'll try and get this, this section buttoned up over here.
How many people we got?
Around 40, I think.
All right.
38.
You definitely have your work cut out for you. So, this section is not terrible, but down here there's not much. This and this need to be patched, and this one section. This is a little bit deeper, so I'm leaving it for now. You see how there's that deep ridge and that deep ridge, that hole. I'm basically trying to get a pass to go down this way, so I think I'm going to grind a little bit more to give you a little bit better surface, because I want you to run a bead all the way down again. Can we lower this a little bit? I'm going to pull that down.
More?
Yeah, a little more. All right, that's good. All right. If you could now lay a clean bead down that, it's pretty serviceable now. I cleaned it up pretty good. Yeah, try not to blow through so don't sit for too long. The machine's acting a little funny, go zzz, zzz, like not grounding right. I'm gonna go ahead and attach it right to here. That should be as good of a ground as it gets. Start worrying about the bottom side. And yeah, just run your path all the way down. Is this the right, you want to go upward? Is this the right height for you? A little more.
Woo! Get to take a little break from welding. That's okay. You know what happens when you use the surface you're working on as a... Oh, don't worry about that yet. Let's get that top line in before we start smashing it, because you don't want to break the welds that are on it. Yeah, I don't think so. Where else are you guys going to come to watch dudes work their asses off throughout the night? Real deal. We're busy cutting and grinding away over here to rebuild this frame. Some good old-fashioned American grit right here. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the comment section. If you haven't already, like this video and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. My name is Isaac behind the camera here. I'm your host. This is DIY Speed on YouTube. And there's my buddy getting his welding skills up to par on this 1969 Chevrolet El Camino that we're rebuilding the frame on.
She was running much better last week.
Did I put it in a different plug? I did. Let me put it on the bottom plug. Let's see if that's an issue. Wire's a little warm. Right. Listen, we're going to have to grind away as long as you're not blowing through. Just add and fill as much as you can. Look, I had the same thing you had, and this is how it runs out. So we're just adding something to it so we don't take off the frame. You can see where I put it up here to touch the frame a little bit. I am by no means a professional, neither is my buddy, but that doesn't mean we're going to let any of that stop us. Just because it's not perfect doesn't mean it's not good enough. How's it looking? First welds of the day too, you know. Not bad. Not my best for a little bit. I'm gonna grind it out after that.
This is the same.
You wanted to start grinding? No way. Technical issues on the electrical side. We keep blowing that fuse out. I guess it's not the best ground. Maybe we're reaching duty cycle on the machine, on the welding machine. But go ahead and flip the switch and get right back to it. Oh, I'm standing behind the camera here. Got to remind myself, don't look directly at the welds. It's like looking directly at the sun. And when I close my eyes, I just see the sun. You got a good weld? Blue again?
Nope.
All right, I'll go switch it this time. Which one is it? Top right, top left?
I think third from the bottom, and we'll go right away.
All right.
Yep. Yep.
So long as you hold that side, fucking safe. This feels safe as shit. You want to use the blue because you're gonna lose. Oh, I forgot. You have built in. knock it flat and then knock the side. So I get it level with this because inevitably there's a couple of ridges, and then do what you're doing. All the same metal. So some punch ups obviously to fill these massive gaps. You can just do just fill those and knock that back down. That corner is awesome already. This section is going to need a lot of love anyways because we're probably going to add a piece this way. So don't worry about here at all. Just worry for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, try to do what you can, but also remember these were also holes in the frame to begin with that, you know, we glued together. You can fill that. There we Right. Starting to fill it, yeah. So just fill in what's left there, and then we'll do the last grind on it. And then I think dude, it's going to get so nice. Got to figure out the piece here, but what I cut off there might be perfect for that. So, yeah, and I'll let you do all the welding on that too. What? No, we're going to cut a diagonal. Yeah, that's going to be the easiest thing. I'm surprised how well that's doing that. First time ever. Gotta put the helmet back on. Yeah, well, you were wearing it the whole time. We got 50 people watching. We got 13 likes. Come on, somebody give us a like. Even if you just do it out of pity, go ahead and like my buddy and I. We're staying up all night, welding away on this frame. It's a 1969 El Camino. We're restoring it as best as we can in our backyard garage with the tools that we have available. So, go ahead. I see we just got a like. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. My name is Isaac, and the name of this channel is DIY Speed. I'm your host. This is my buddy here who's integral part to making stuff like this happen, as well as a fellow enthusiast that wants to learn how to cut and weld and grind like a pro. We're not pros yet, but we're making progress. This frame is gonna, oh, I just looked directly at the brightness of the sun. Should stop doing that. Anyways, like I said, got 70 people watching now. Come on, let's get some likes. Let's get some subscriptions to the channel. DIY Speed for all of your do-it-yourself, get-it-done attitude, car stuff. I do other things, but mainly car stuff. Right now, we're in the middle of putting this 1969 El Camino back on the road after, I believe, 20-plus years sitting and doing nothing. While he's cutting and welding on the frame here, the car itself is hanging out in the next bay. If you notice, those yellow straps, that's holding up the whole rear end from the rafter there. Front end supported by some 12-ton stands and a 4x4. But that's for a different story, a different time. We got 48 people on now, 14 likes. Come on, smash the like button. Go ahead, ask us questions. Happy to answer whatever you want. My name is Isaac. I'm your host. This is DIY Speed, and we're just grinding away here in the middle of the night, chasing the American dream. Oh, we just got another like. Whoever that was, you're awesome. Thanks so much. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel too. Check out what we've done in the past and what we got coming up. Oh, we just got another like. Again, thank you so much. We're up to 16 likes here. 57 people watching. Guys, we're 2 hours and 20 minutes into this. This is no joke. I think we're getting close to 11 o'clock. Oh, 11:20. That doesn't even describe. We started at 9. Started at 9. Forgot about that. So 2 hours and 21 minutes in now. 44 people watching. 16 likes. Yo, what's up, my boy Chaim? Dude, what's life? What's it like, dude? I have to answer your Instagram message here. I don't know who that guy is, but I liked his sound, and I was kind of jealous that you were at that show. So that's why I said it was absolutely awesome. I forget what I said, but I appreciate good country music, man. I know Sturgill Simpson, if you know who he is on tour now. I think I get to see him at some point if he comes to the East Coast. But yeah, just staying up all night, dude. Running the grinder, the welder, making the dream happen. Getting this 1969 El Camino back on the road. You can see it sitting over there. What are we working on? What's up, Joe? We're working on a 1969 Chevrolet El Camino. It's a 396 SS big block, baby. And the rear frame section over there completely rotted out. Reinforcing it with plate steel. Trying to get this thing back on the road in the next few weeks, really. But gonna have, yeah, dude. We're gonna have, I don't know, 100 hours worth of metal work into this thing just to get it back to where we could trust it. The rest of the frame is really clean if you look. That cross member is nice and shiny now with the wheel. I didn't get everything off the front horns yet. I still got to do the work up here. But I sandblasted and grinded the whole back 3/4 of the frame. And I just took a break from that because it's so messy and decided, let's go ahead and start welding on this thing. So, second pass. Actually, where are we at? No, we're at like the 4th pass of bead on this big section. I'll go ahead and bring you guys in so you can see what's going on. We got 63 people watching right now and 16 likes. If you're with us long enough, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're with us even longer than that, go ahead and subscribe. Oh, we're up to 17 likes. Sorry, give me a second while I futz around with this tripod. I appreciate the likes. Chaim, if you're watching, what's up, boss? Anyway, so this is the biggest patch I've had to put in so far. Starts up here, runs all the way down to the frame down here, cut the nice wedge style at the bottom, and we're butchering it in. Oh, not bad, not bad. Butchering it in with flux core, but with enough grinding work, this will even out and look pretty good. This was the first patch on this side of the frame. We already patched the other side. I still have to do this center section, but I skipped that to go work on this section here. Like I said, we're running probably the 4th pass on it right now. Gonna grind this down till it looks good, and then once I'm pretty happy with what's up here and down this side, then we'll move on. I think then we'll tackle this center section here. Remember, there's no metal behind this. You see how perforated it is. There's no metal. Ooh, it's hot as shit though, what is left. But, so we're completely rebuilding these arch sections. There's no way around it. It's also 36 degrees in here right now. I just want to point that out. I just saw my breath and I realized my toes are cold. It's 36 degrees tonight. There's no heat in here. With the doors and the fans running, it's every bit of it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to set this tripod up over here. You guys get an intimate view of what's going on. And go find the charger real quick. Welcome to the channel, Joe. If you're still watching, good to have you. Some sketchy shit, dude. All right.
Forgot my ear protection on.
Yeah, right? So although we do have some ridge lines in there, they're not quite the Rocky Mountains, maybe the Blue Ridge. So that's pretty acceptable for us. Go ahead and do, I guess, a couple more hole patches. You know, let's just fill in a couple of those valleys. And there's not a whole lot left to do here. That's a hole that's supposed to be there. Yeah, go ahead and leave a little bit of bead up here on this top section. Let's go ahead and lay another run up there, and then just do a little bit of patchwork here. I don't want to keep grinding down into this frame because it's going to get thin where we're not adding metal, but we keep grinding on it. So just choose and leave little spot welds so we don't have a lot of work to do on that side. I see we got 57 people watching. If you got a second to go ahead and hit the like button, I would appreciate it. My name is Isaac, and this channel is DIY Speed, and we're rebuilding the frame on this 1969 El Camino. And I have to remind myself not to look directly at the welds because it's like looking at the force of the sun right next to the sun. It blew again? Fuse blew? All right, I gotta go reset a fuse. Oh, Scott, what's up, bud? We got 18 likes. Just blew the fuse for the upteenth time tonight. What are we gonna do? Equipment. We're trying our best. You know what I think it is? We're probably running into duty cycle for that little Lincoln welder. While the fuse is being reset, let me give you guys a little tour. This is the LS corner. Sitting back there is an aluminum block 5.3 that I paid $150 for, and an iron block 6.0 out of a 2011 truck. So that's a Gen 4. The aluminum block's a Gen 3. And not more than $200 there, ready to make power. Got a bunch of extra parts kind of just laying around like a mess. I'm, not organized per se, but it's all here. That's a small block 350 out of a van. That's still good. This is the engine stand that I built from scratch with an LS that I paid $150 for, and it is the cleanest motor out of all the motors, including the one that I rebuilt in the Tahoe right now. The stand never really got finished, but with enough trickery, those wires and that fuel pump in a can, and this thing will run right here on the stand. A little laptop action right there. Probably shouldn't show my coffee too much. That's a 3.6 Pentastar out of 2018 Dodge. The old motor. Lost a cylinder. Oh. What else do we got here? Oh, I've already used 2 gig of data. I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi back on because I'm just using all my data.
You don't have unlimited?
No, I do, but it's going to drop in quality soon. Let's go turn the Wi-Fi back on. I do apologize if we lose connection for a little bit. So if you could see this welder right here, this is a Vulcan Outlaw 195. It's a generator welder, 6,500 watt. It's an arc welder. This thing retails for $1,800 at Harbor Freight, and I've been eyeing this specific one at the local Harbor Freight that's been sitting on clearance for, I want to say, at least a year. So they had it marked down pretty considerably because it was a floor model, and they were asking $409 for it. Yeah, Joe, a messy place is a sign of a clean mind. I got a lot of stuff going on. I like to clean up. Well, we just dropped all of those, and I haven't had a chance to pick them up yet. But I'll clean up all of this tomorrow morning. Right now we're working. No time to clean up. So I got this welder in the end. I paid $200 for it. I put gas in it. Generator started up immediately. Converted some old leads from an archaic welder I have in the back over there that runs off 220. And basically just put in the updated DINS connectors instead of the friction style. And this thing works a charm. So for $200, I have a pretty badass unit right here. For shits and giggles, I put it up on Marketplace, try to sell it. Listed it for $1,200. I've had several people reach out to me. I didn't feel any of them were legit, so, well, it's not going to sell. Plus, I don't like selling good equipment, so I just wanted to see, did I get a good deal or not? I also have the green box sitting right over there. The manager thought it was dented, so got it as an open box special for $100. Let me show you this real quick. And yeah, that's a full tool cart. $300 tool cart for $100. Nothing wrong with it. Just stepping all over the foam that came with it, though. So let's get back into the welding. Here's the welder we're using. A Lincoln Electric Pro MIG 140 with flux core tonight because I don't have gas, and I got to remedy that at some point this week. We're doing some spot welds, just finish up this massive patch that we had to put in, but it's one of several, so you know, got to dive into the deep end, boys, and make it happen. There we go. So I guess clean it up a little bit with the grinder, and then we'll find a new thing to patch. That piece right there, this whole section.
We dug a lot into the frame, so I'm gonna let you do that, just so I don't dig too much in the frame wormholes then.
Correct, yeah. We dug into the frame a little bit with what we're doing. Not the best move. We'll see what we'll do. Maybe we'll go ahead and drop something in there to reinforce it again. Still better than it was. Still going to be better and still be plenty strong, but obviously you don't want to completely grind the frame away. Kind of an optical illusion when you're dealing with something so shiny is it makes it look like it's a deep ridge, but you know, you get your eyes on it, it's pretty good. Let me put the tripod up, and I'm going to do some grinding real quick. It is every bit of 36 degrees. Now that I wasn't working for a little bit, I cooled down enough. Yeah. So what I'm doing as to not touch the frame is I'm starting on the new metal, finding the ridge, and just barely getting over the ridge, which is your tack welds there, and that's how I'm cleaning it up. All right, that's going to be good enough for this. We're not going to go any further than that for now. We got 52 people watching. We're 2 hours and 38 minutes in. We got 18 likes. If you could go ahead and hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead and leave a comment. Any questions you have, I'll try to answer them right away. My name is Isaac, and the channel is DIY Speed. And we're just working the night away. 36 people watching. Well, it's 36 degrees outside.
I think this is our longest live stream yet.
Yeah, it's going to take like 6 days to process once we're done. All right, let me see if I can, let me go get that piece of metal I chopped up before. See if we can't do something with it.
Be careful there, bud.
Yeah, right? Don't want to die just like looking at stuff. No. But yes, right? So we just need to go up to here. Do you have that marker thing? Check this.
Well, you do now.
So let me bring you in here. How we're going to configure this next piece of metal. I have some stock right here. This already has a bit of a curve in it, so this could be useful.
Or not. Just do this. Right over here. This already will have some sort of curve that we can weld together, and then we'll cut it at the bottom.
Right.
Curve it at the bottom.
All right, so
We can work it out.
let me get it set right. I want it there.
Right, now when?
Hold on. And I want as much of it as I can get, really. So let's just do that. All right.
It has a little bit of a corner.
It's okay. We don't need to mimic that kink
Right.
because that's not structural. What I do want to do is put that back, let's say, and then I want to just lop off. Yeah, I'm just going to like lop off that corner there. All right, so got our lines drawn in the stock. For the back piece, I see a closer angle coming down on the left. Are you referring to this? The frame is kinked a little bit right here, kinked inward as well. So it does look a little bit off, but this piece of metal here, basically going to tie all of this back together. Going to have to figure out this section right here. But yeah, that's what's going on. It's time to do some sketchy shit. Fucking right, dude. All of this is so sketchy. All of this has been super sketchy. Actually, this cutting and welding portion has been less sketchy than some of the other things I've had to do just to get to this point. Let's go over to the vise. Up. Equipment malfunction. Just dragging the battery pack along. Let's go over and try our hands at cutting this metal into shape. I'm not great with the cutoff wheel, mainly because I'm scared of it killing me, but I'm okay at it, and we're just gonna have to make it work. So that's good. Good enough for the girls we date, huh, boys? Yeah. Joe, Dave, Chaim. This is what we do, bud. This is sketchy. A cutoff wheel without the guard and without the handle. You gotta hold on tight, folks. Our first cut, a little pie piece off the end. That's not hard. Let's go ahead and get this repositioned. I don't know how I'm going to do this, to be completely honest with you. I'm just going to have to try because no idea what's happening. All right, none of that is working. What to do when Dracula comes for you? All right, there's no good way to cut this on the vise because I need to cut the entire length of the section that the vise will actually grip to. So without further ado, let me cut this piece of metal.
What was the last comment you end up reading?
Joe said time to do some sketchy stuff after Chaim did. It's working. Not completely yet done though. Couple more love cuts. And this piece of metal will be ready to fall out.
Whoa! That ain't happening.
It's gotta happen.
No, I'm saying you're not cutting like that, like holding that in the air.
It's about to happen. Alright, fine. I'll put it in the vise.
I don't have my slide bag with me.
You don't need to worry about safety. If we all cared about safety as much as they tell us to, we'd never get anything done, folks. The grinder will make that a little bit more amicable. Let's go ahead and hot glue this in.
By the way,
I'm listening. Whoop! Try not to grind your glove off.
I'm going to cover the brand, but shout out to this power bank. This power bank, I have this already for like 5 years. This is the second live stream that we're going. Like, it's going already 4 hours strong, and it's only at 75%.
Nice. Yeah, by the way, Joe, no real men use that guard for sure. Well, you know, it's why women live longer than us, folks. There's just no two ways about it. So, pretty rough. Gonna rough it in as best as I can, and then we're gonna have to make her look good with the grinder. Let me clean off a section for the ground. That should do that. Really want the heat to the heat to penetrate the metal, so that we're not left with stuff that just cracks off. You hit that weld and it'll just crack right off. Let's see if I can use the ground clamp itself to hold things in. We fit really nicely on this side, but we're about a 1/2 inch off on the front side here, so that's going to take some metal massaging. Oh, no, let me do that. Oh, no, I will ruin my own eyesight while I'm staring at it. All right, guys, safety squints for Jesus. That's our first tack weld to hold this in place. Go ahead and put another one in here. That's another one. This is about as far as I could go before it starts to deviate.
Plus, all that nagging they do doesn't help us either.
The what?
All that nagging they do doesn't help us either.
What, the not men or the women?
Well, what you said about that's why women live longer.
Oh, yeah. Multitude of reasons. So what was the response?
Well, Joe, you just gotta pick the right woman.
Yeah, you just gotta pick the one that you like her voice when she's nagging at you, because they're all gonna nag at you, you know, but you just gotta be worth it. You know, that's all it is. You find the right woman, and, you know, it's like a good job. You found a good job, might not be the best, might not hit everything, but if it's good enough, take it. So I got this tacked in. I'm gonna go ahead and weld this portion, because then I got to start smacking on this with a hammer to get it to bend in enough to weld there. Maybe I could get a clamp on it to hold it into place. Actually, let me see if I can use my thumb and, yeah, check this out. We're going to thumb it. Don't look directly at the weld while you're welding, folks. That's a really important thing. Okay, unfortunately, that did not work. Now I for sure need the hammer. Oh, crap. Making bad moves. Making bad moves here. I need to hit this with the grinder first.
I think we can do this one.
And I broke my tack. Let me re-tack this side. Look away. Okay. Re-tack up here. Okay. Go ahead and use the old clamperoo. Get this piece of metal pushed down nice and tight. That's not enough. Hold on, I made a tack weld that's in the way now. Try and reposition this clamp to get a little bit closer to the corner. I mean, it's not bad what it's doing, but just a little bit. There we go. Get that down nice and tight. So we have a good ground. We need a welding helmet. Now that I've started using the respirator, I'm going to continue because I found it works pretty good to allow me to get my face right up in the welds and I don't get choked out.
S7, V7, NFI, V5 is saying nice and tight.
That's the way we like them, folks. Always remember, safety third.
Something up with the welder.
I think we're at like max duty cycle with the welder or something. Maybe that needs to be tightened or something.
I'll keep an eye on it next time we start.
Oh, you know what? The line speed's a little bit higher than it should be. It should be at 3 and it's at almost 4. Yeah. There we go. That's much better. All right, let's get to work, folks.
The line kept getting stuck.
We have the line speed too fast too. That was contributing. To
Yeah,
that.
but from 3 to 3.5 shouldn't matter that much.
Believe it or not, I think this is dialed at 3. Not the best penetration on this last one. Let me try that again. Better.
I'm not mad at that. It's not great. There's some areas of problem, but I'm not mad at that. The machine's better off now for sure, whatever you just did.
I loosened the spool. You know, the bolt that was
Let it
really
spin
tight.
easier.
Spinning much easier now.
Nice. Not my best work, but it'll do. We're gonna have to redo that section.
What section?
That section. Do you want to keep welding, or were you tapping out?
Either way. We are at 3 hours.
Damn. 3 hours live, folks. No bueno. That's not exactly the result I was hoping for with that weld, so I'm going to try it again. Sorry to block you guys. Let me move you over. Alright, the mistake is that I'm welding down. I should be welding up here. So that's what I'm going to do.
You know how we were smelling onion on the other side?
Yeah, this is a little different.
Yeah, I kind of smell burnt orange.
Right.
Yep. Here you go.
Try that one more time. I'm not entirely mad how this ended up.
By the way, I just realized there's another reason why that side was sticking out slightly.
Huh?
Because however much you knocked down that bump, there was still a little bit of a bump left.
Right. That is correct. But that's okay. Smells good, actually. Whatever's burning smells pretty good.
Yeah, don't huff that in.
Well, it's coming through the respirator.
At least one of us has one.
Yeah.
I think I gotta order myself one.
Yeah, I think so. Next time we're at Harbor Freight, though. All the extra sheet metal we'll need right there.
Yeah.
So, where we're holding right now is we're getting as much of this frame tacked in and some, pretty much welds set into it so that, it's structurally sound. We're not quite there yet. We got a lot of metal to still add to this, but we're making some headway on this side of the frame, which was in really, really, really poor condition. So I'm gonna switch over from welding gear to grinding gear. A little bit of PPE change here, and we're gonna go ahead and see if we can clean up the welds that I put in here, and then we'll do a second pass after that. How many people we still got?
27.
27. 18 likes.
I think the peak was around 160.
Scott, are you referring to zip ties and bias plies? Old pegging legging over there? You don't need to worry about safety. You want to turn the machine off?
Yep, that's what he was referring to. Total Tech is saying frame rotten. Well, that's what we were trying to fix now.
I gotta say, old Peg up there in Albertistan, he's one minty feller. Big fan of what he does. Always liked the Canadians, you know. I actually married a Canadian girl out of Montreal. Growing up in Iowa, it's like, hey, don't you know, we were pretty close to the folks up in Canada, eh? But, Iowa's just a wee bit south of the border. I need my earmuffs.
Behind you on the green tote. Well, Total Tech, the frame is not rotten. We have a few rust spots. They might be slightly big, yes. I'll give that to you. But the rest of the frame is mint. Joe is saying reminds me of Letterkenny.
Oh man, I love the show Letterkenny. It's been a long time since I've watched it, but I kind of feel like me and Squirrely Dan might be related. I can see where I need to pass again.
By the way, before we do any welding over there,
Yeah.
you gotta remove your rust.
Yeah, we're
So
gonna have to cut
sandblaster.
it. Yeah, I think we might cut it out. Once the exoskeleton's there, then we can remove the inner material
Right.
and put new material.
Vinny is saying rip peanuts. I don't know.
Is that a Letterkenny reference?
Is Peanuts a Letterkenny reference?
Want to elaborate on that, Vinny? No response from Vinny yet, but Joe is saying definitely Squirrely Dan.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, I'm on the light side right now of where I usually stand, but 6'4" and 300 pounds right now. Trying to get down into the twos. Be nice to be 240, but I don't know if I'll ever be that svelte.
Do you want to do second pass?
Sure thing.
All right.
Pretty straightforward. This one's not that bad, and the metal's still pretty thick where we're working. Things that I'd like to do.
I want to fill this corner. I want to fill this corner a little bit. I don't really care about here. I just care about this corner. Right? So that corner. And then, of course, this is a problem area. You could do all along this, but
Fill the gaps.
yeah, but in the better sections, you don't really need to pay much attention to it. Some of it's pretty good already. But go ahead, if you want, you could run the whole line if you want. If not, just do the sections that need. My main concern is this right here,
Do you want the whole line to be filled?
and I need to cut us a piece of metal that'll fit in there, and then we'll weld that together.
Do you want the whole line to be filled?
Only if it's looking good. Don't want to create more work for yourself is what I'm thinking. But if you're happy with the way it's coming out, go ahead and do as much as you want.
Want to pick that up?
Oh, Peanuts the squirrel. I just got it, Vinny.
Yeah,
Apparently that dude was also on OnlyFans selling his butthole. So I don't know if how I feel entirely about it. But I do feel bad in the way that the federal government should not have enough time and resource in their hand to go steal some dude's squirrel and then kill it.
Like that.
Perfect. We got 27 people watching. We're 3 hours and 15 minutes into this live stream. We only got 19 likes, so if somebody could go ahead and give us a like. Mr. Get It, 88, Joe, Vinny, Total Tech, somebody hit us with a like. Let's get to 20. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I need to remind myself not to stare directly at the welder or else I'm going to keep blinding myself. Shoo, buddy, 21 likes. Hell yeah, thanks so much for that. Oh, we lost a like. Come on, who's being the cheap ass over here? Let's get those likes in. Whoever did like the channel, I do appreciate you. Thank you very much. My name is Isaac, and the channel is DIY Speed. We're working on repairing this 1969 El Camino. Once we get the frame buttoned up, we'll go ahead and throw it back underneath the car and start working on a big old motor for it. Buggood. Where are you from, Total Tech? Fuck yeah. Alright, cool. So, we need a piece of metal there. I happen to have a singular piece of metal that might fit. So I think if I took that and cut it into a wedge,
No, there's a very easy way to put this. Line it up with one of them. And line it up with that. Which one are you lining it up with?
I want it to weld up here and then I gotta cut it there.
Okay, so you're lining it up straight with which one?
With this one.
Okay, so then we're going to go like this. Now line it up with the top one. Triangle with it. Press it down. It's not flat enough.
Yeah, so I think this will be good enough to get us.
Basically, the idea is, I saw this a lot with woodworking channels. They put it up, and then they put the other side on top of that, and then the tape basically sticks to it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just cut it,
Yeah.
and it should work because I'm basically splitting this in half, so I'll have 2 tries. All right, I'm gonna move over to the vise real quick and cut this in half. Let's see. Buggard is in the North Pole Central Chinese Distribution. Okay, well that's pretty wild.
gotta say, it's coming together.
Where's the wedge?
It's 1,000,000 degrees down here.
Wedge or what do they call those? A shank?
It's a pizza slice.
It's coming through the slope.
Yeah, pretty much. What I would do is hit it with the hand grinder just to knock some of the edge off of it over here and where your thumb is. And then you go ahead and pack it in.
Cut that up loose again.
Yep.
Making some headway here. We're 3 hours and 22 minutes into this live feed. We got 30 people watching right now and 21 likes. I do appreciate everyone who's chimed in and asked us questions. Trying to be as interactive as possible while we're working on this 1969 Chevrolet El Camino frame. Cutting and welding all night tonight. Like I said, 3 hours and 22 minutes into this live feed. It's our longest one yet. But we're getting a lot of good work done, so we're going to keep on just trucking away. Any questions you have, go ahead and ask them. I'll answer as soon as I can. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Drop us a like. And let's keep going. What's up, Marcos? We're in New Haven, Connecticut.
You can get it more perfect once it's packed in or welded in a bit. I'm gonna flat. Perfect fit.
Stack it here, and then I want to try to put it in place a little bit.
Yeah. Try and hit it with the hammer. Let's do the hammer. Oh, no, that's just going to stand fast.
Take the clamp off for a sec. I think if I just tack it in place like this, it's much better.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right. Ditching the clamp. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not.
What's wrong with the machine?
Machine on, your ground is on?
I am not. Oh, I am.
Safety squints for Jesus. I guess you could call us a custom shop. Everything we do here is one-off.
You could call that attack.
Yeah, not bad.
Running around across that line?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess we're not too worried about.
No, we'll just grind that off.
Yeah. Weld it up.
Not bad, not bad.
You want to try to massage it with the, oh, you don't need to. Okay, I see one hole that needs to be filled up top, and then the bottom section, and then we'll bust the grinder out and even it all up, and then filled up the rest of the gaps.
It's a painstaking process, guys. One step at a time. Well, we got 24 people watching, 26. Marcos, if you haven't already, go ahead and give us a like. Subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate everyone who's been a part of this live feed so far. We're coming on 3.5 hours here, non-stop on a Saturday night, just making the dream work. We're not pros, but we are hard workers. I guess that's all it takes.
I'm just booger welding on top of each other.
Yeah, might as well just grind it now and then reset and re-weld. Yeah.
That first or first grind?
No, do that bottom section. Didn't look like you hit it much yet.
I didn't hit it at all yet.
All right.
Trying to make the best decisions we can. You guys are lucky I don't start singing on camera, you know? "33 people. If you're just stopping in, go ahead and drop us a like. Subscribe to the channel. My name's Isaac. This is DIY Speed, and we are restoring the frame of this 1969 El Camino.
I thought I got nicely.
Okay, well you got that to the sun. Turn that to the temperature of the sun.
What you gotta do, right?
Weld, grind, weld, repeat.
There's gotta be a country song about that. Wanna pass me my ear protection?
Why would you need ear protection?
23 people.
I know some people like air rape. I don't.
All right, I think we're going to end the live session now. 3.5 hours in. We'll keep it running for now.